Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to dig into another deep dive?
Absolutely. I always love a good treasure hunt for wisdom.
Me too. And today we're diving headfirst into Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist.
Classic. A book that's practically a rite of passage.
Totally. But here's the thing, we're not just recapping the plot. We're on a mission to unearth those timeless insights that have resonated with millions worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, those nuggets of wisdom that make you see the world and yourself in a whole new light.
Exactly. It's about going beyond the surface and really extracting those core messages that can make a real difference.
And one of the things that struck me most about The Alchemist is this idea of a language without words.
Oh, I love that part. It's like this underlying current that runs through the entire story. Right, like when the shepherd just gets his sheep, you know? There's this unspoken connection, this understanding that goes beyond language.
It's like they're communicating on a whole other level, tapping into something deeper. And it's not just the shepherd and his sheep, it's everywhere in the book. The desert speaks, the wind whispers secrets, even the sun and the stars seem to be trying to tell us something.
It's like this hidden language that's always there, all around us. We just have to learn how to listen, to tune in.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from The Alchemist, that there's this whole other layer of communication happening all the time. It's about paying attention to those subtle cues, those gut feelings, those moments of synchronicity that often guide us in the right direction.
And you know what? I think Coelho illustrates this beautifully with the story of the boy and his sheep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite parts of the book.
There's this moment, this realization the boy has when he understands that he's been communicating with his sheep all along, sharing his thoughts, his dreams, his fears, and they've been listening.
It's an epiphany, isn't it? He's been having these whole conversations without even realizing it.
Exactly. And it makes him think, well, if he can connect with sheep on this deeper level, imagine what else is possible. What if he could learn the language of the wind, the desert, the universe itself?
It opens up a whole world of possibilities, doesn't it?
It does. It's like he's always had this ability within him, but it took that moment of awareness, that shift in perspective to unlock it. And I think that's something we can all relate to, right?
Absolutely. We all have that potential within us, that capacity for deeper understanding and connection.
It's just a matter of tapping into it. And you know, speaking of unlocking possibilities, that brings us to what's probably the most famous line from The Alchemist.
Oh, you mean when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it.
Exactly. Talk about a quote that's like plastered all over Pinterest boards and inspirational posters.
Right. It's everywhere. But here's the thing about The Alchemist. It doesn't just serve you that on a silver platter, like, okay, wish for something, and poof, it appears.
Definitely not. The boy goes through some serious stuff. It's not just rainbows and butterflies on the road to his personal legend.
Yeah, like remember when he gets robbed? Right when he's finally decided to chase his dream, he loses everything.
It's brutal. You'd almost be tempted to just give up and go back to what's familiar, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
But that's what's so interesting. That experience, as awful as it is, it kind of forces him to dig deep. He has to figure things out, be resourceful.
He has to start from scratch.
Exactly. And that leads him to the crystal shop, which at first glance seems like a total detour from his grand plan.
Right, like, oh, I'm supposed to be following my destiny, but instead I'm stuck washing glasses.
But it's not a detour at all. It's all part of the journey.
It's like those moments when you think, why is this happening to me? But then later you realize, oh, that's why I needed that experience.
It's all connected. And that brings us to another really important theme that Coelho explores in The Alchemist: the price we pay for our dreams.
It's not always easy, that's for sure.
Not at all. He shows us that very honestly through the boy's struggles, those times when he thinks about giving up and going back to his old life, back to being a shepherd.
I mean, haven't we all been there?
Totally. The point where the excitement wears off a bit, you hit a wall, you're tired, you're doubting yourself.
You just want to give up.
Exactly. And that's where the book's message really resonates. It introduces this idea that the universe, or the soul of a world, as Coelho calls it, it tests those who are brave enough to pursue their personal legends.
Not to be mean, though, right? It's not about punishment.
Right. It's more like preparation. Like the universe is saying, okay, you want this? Show me you're ready for it. Show me you can handle the challenges, the setbacks.
It's like a rite of passage almost. Like you have to prove your commitment. You know, there's this part in the book that always gets me. It's when the alchemist says about those who, you know, die of thirst just when the palm trees have appeared on the horizon.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's such a powerful image, right?
It really is. And I think it speaks to this idea that Often, our biggest challenges come right before a breakthrough.
Right when we're about to give up.
Exactly. It's like that final test of our resilience, our determination. Like the universe is saying, are you sure you really want this? Because you're this close?
It's a good point. So let's talk about the treasure itself. I mean, that's what drives the boy's whole journey, right?
It is. And without giving anything away for those who haven't read the book yet.
Great, no spoilers.
Coelho plays with our expectations a bit.
Correct. He does. I mean, you think you know where the story's going, but then...
It's deeper than that. And that's what I love about Coelho. He uses this simple quest for material treasure, this search for gold.
To make us think about what really matters.
Exactly. What is true treasure? Is it wealth, possessions, or is it something else entirely?
Right. Like, what if the real treasure is the journey itself?
That's the question, isn't it? What if it's the lessons learned, the growth experienced, the person you become along the way?
And maybe that applies to life in general, you know? Even if we're not all searching for literal buried treasure.
Absolutely. It's about finding the treasure in everyday experiences, the growth, the connections, the moments of joy, even amidst the challenges.
And I think that's what makes The Alchemist so enduring. It's this reminder that the journey is just as important as the destination, maybe even more important.
I think so too. And it's a reminder to listen to our hearts, to find the courage to pursue our own personal legends, whatever those may be.
Even if it's scary, even if we doubt ourselves along the way.
Exactly. And I think that's a really powerful message.
It is. Well, that was quite the deep dive into The Alchemist. Thanks for joining me on this journey.
My pleasure. Always a good time to revisit this classic.
It is. And to our listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What treasures have you discovered on your own journeys? Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep listening to that inner voice that guides you towards your own personal legend.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe the channel. Please share your feedbacks and thoughts through comments.